there, lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news today, the 9th of June in the year 2026. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. HH assures MPEZENI family of government support as nation mourns NGONI leader. OPP PAC back MUSHIMBA-BANDA ticket for 2026 elections. Geological survey unlocks LUAPULA'S mining investment potential. In international news, ICC suspends chief prosecutor over allegations of sexual misconduct. In sports news, Somali referee OMAR ARTAN denied entry to US ahead of World Cup. Join me for these and many more stories after the break. Camnet TV main news now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kane app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. President Hakainde Hichilema has assured the family of the late Paramount Chief MPEZENI of the NGONI-speaking people of continued government support during the mourning period and beyond. Speaking at Ipendukeni Palace in Chipata, Eastern Province, where the remains of the late traditional leader were lying in state during burial, President Hichilema conveyed his condolences to the royal family and the NGONI people. The head of state expressed sadness over the passing of the senior chief MPEZENI, describing his death as a loss not only to NGONI people but also to the nation at large. Before addressing mourners, President Hichilema signed the Book of Condolences in honor of the late traditional leader. Senior Chief MPEZENI died on May 30, 2026 at the University Teaching Hospital, UTH, in Lusaka. Government accorded him an official funeral in recognition of his contribution to national unity and traditional leadership.
Different traditional leaders that the country has been endowed with. And they are all important. That's a fine point I'm making, because sometimes issues arise in terms of status. He did not project that. He knew who he was, that he was Inkos Yamankos, but he understood that other chiefs matter. They mattered to those specific societies, communities they served, but also to the nation. Great indeed. As I said, maybe I should emphasize it. Nkwala's ceremony for years back wasn't as big as Ngwenyama made it. He promoted the Nkwala ceremony greatly. And I know what I'm talking about, because in the early days I used to come to the ceremony, but when I took this office given to me by God through the people of Zambia, I realized how much he was doing to promote the culture and tradition and ceremonies such as Nkwala. Very, very elaborate. And we worked together to improve the site, the ceremony site there. And I understood then what he meant deeply about carrying on with our culture.
The Organized People's Party, OPP, and the People's Alliance for Change, PAC, have officially endorsed the MUSHIMBA-BANDA ticket for the August 18, 2026 general elections, presenting the alliance as a service-driven alternative for Zambia. In a joint statement released in Lusaka today, the alliance announced OPP President Dr. Brian Mushimba as presidential candidate, while with PAC President Anford Mayele-Banda as his running mate. The alliance described the partnership as a dynamic duo ready to deliver results for Mother Zambia and pledged to provide leadership for coastal national development and public service. Speaking on the alliance, Mr. Banda said service to the country remains more important than personal political ambition. Mr. Banda said service to the country is paramount to Park and himself, and he says this comes before any personal ambitions. Mr. Banda said the alliance is grounded in the principle of servant leadership and stressed the importance of cooperation in national governance.
I'm definitely excited to partner up with Dr. Brian Mushimba, President of the Organized People's Party, who is our presidential candidate in the OPP-PAC Alliance in the 2026 general election. This is so exciting because he is someone that we share a lot of ideas with. I know people have been asking to say, why didn't you run? First of all, I want to just make something clear that service to country is paramount to Park and myself, and it comes before any personal ambitions. Hence, I'm excited about this partnership of OPP and Park with Dr. Brian Mushimba as the presidential candidate. In any event, if you want to lead, you must be ready to serve. Even Jesus said in Matthew 20 verse 26 that whoever wants to be a leader among you must be a servant. We do know that as Park, our future in politics is bright, but where we need to join hands and put our ideas together to deliver this country, we shall proudly do so, even if it means that we lead from behind. What Zambia needs is a right alternative in 2026, and Dr. Brian Mushimba and myself, Banda, are the right alternative. The country is moving in the wrong direction, but the idea of desperately choosing anything to lead us just to get rid of what's there is long gone. I want to appeal to the Zambian people to pay attention to Dr. Brian Mushimba and myself in the next 65 days and ensure they have a chance to make the right decision with the right alternative. As OPP-PAC Alliance, we have the right message and clear plan for this country. Through our message, which is coined in LEGO, and LEGO stands for Leadership, Economy, Governance and Ownership, we shall ensure that we deliver this country and give it a leadership that listens, an economy that works to advance the interests of the most advantaged.
Luapula province is poised for increased mining investment following the launch of a comprehensive geological survey aimed at determining the extent and value of manganese deposits in the region. The Luapula Provincial Administration says the exercise will provide critical data needed to attract investors and strengthen economic development efforts in the province. Speaking during a courtesy call by officials from the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development and international geological experts in Mansa yesterday, Luapula Province Permanent Secretary Prudence Chinama-Kangwa said the province had for many years known about the existence of manganese deposits but lacked detailed geological information to effectively market the resource. Mrs. Kangwa said the administration has continued receiving inquiries from potential investors seeking accurate information on the location, quantity and quality of mineral deposits in Luapula. And senior geologist in the Geological Survey Department at the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Development, Sylvester Ndlovu, said the research seeks to establish the occurrence of manganese and better understand its geological characteristics. Meanwhile, geologist Maria Batista from Portugal's National Laboratory of Energy and Geology said the international team will spend 3 weeks conducting field work in selected parts of Luapula province.
I think after your work, obviously, you give us a conclusive report on how much it is that we have. Is it only manganese that we have? What else is there under the ground, under the air in the province? So we are so very happy. As provincial administration, will give you the necessary support that you need to make your work easy, so that you carry out your work on time, so that we can have the information, because we are eager to develop mines. Personally, I've always wondered how come we have not developed the mining industry in the province, because Katanga is very near, Copper Belt is very near, Northwestern. I think it should be the same belt.
We will be here for 3 weeks, and we intend to visit the local authorities, as the chief of the team just said, and we will make a reconnaissance. Of course, it's not sufficient time to have all the information, but we will try with some equipment and with the effort of people to increase the knowledge of manganese in the area, so that in the future more investment can be possible.
The geological characteristics of manganese, so that it can capacitate the province for more investment attraction. So we came last year, we did some reconnaissance, so now we are here to do a full research, and we intend to work in Kaunda area and Bahati area. So our being here is to take a telescope to you and to visit some local authorities, so that we can let them know why we are here.
A community project in Lusaka is using hydroponic farming and black soldier fly technology to promote farming and to promote climate-smart agriculture, reduce waste, and improve household income. The initiative being implemented by the Zambia Homeless Federation is equipping women with modern farming skills that allow them to grow crops throughout the year while using minimal water. Speaking during a demonstration of the project, facilitators explained that the hydroponic system allows crops to grow without soil by using recycled water and controlled nutrient supply. Project trainers say the irrigation system waters crops several times a day, depending on temperatures, helping plants grow faster than in conventional farming. The hydroponic setup also helps minimize crop diseases and pests because plants are grown in a controlled environment. The project further integrates black soldier fly farming, where organic waste collected from markets is used to breed larvae rich in protein for animal feed production. Trainers explain that decomposing waste such as tomatoes, avocados, and cucumbers is placed in containers where black soldier fly eggs hatch and feed on the waste material. The larvae are later harvested and used as a cheaper alternative protein source for chickens, pigs, and fish. According to project coordinators, the larvae contain between 35 and 45% protein, making them highly valuable for livestock feed production. They added that the process also produces organic fertilizer known as frass, which can be used in farming systems to improve soil fertility. Facilitators noted that unlike ordinary houseflies, black soldier flies do not transmit diseases, making them safe to handle. The project team revealed that if operating at full capacity, the facility can produce up to 350 kilograms of larvae per week. Project coordinators say the innovation is especially important for Zambia as the country continues to experience climate change effects such as droughts and erratic rainfall.
This innovation is something that you don't really need to wait for the rainy season. You can plant throughout the year, and once you have proper reticulation system and just a little bit of water, you are able to feed your crops and have crops throughout the year. And something that you may wish to know is this project is something for the community women. It's called the Zambia Homeless and Purpose Federation. So the federation women are using this technology and this equipment and a greenhouse for income generation activities. So this money, once we sell these fruits here, we use this money to support communities in their various locations across Lusaka, and also this helps them learn these technologies, and they've been practicing this even at household level.
We are doing cherry tomato because one, it is a high value crop, its returns are quite impressive or quite good, and it is also able to create entrepreneurship, to other people. Inside here we have 560 plants and we have 3 greenhouses. The watering is done using a pump, using microjets. We have already calculated the amount of water that each plant needs. We irrigate them 5 times a day. When it is too hot, when it's cold, we give it 4 times a day.
We also water 5 times a day when it's hot, and 3 and 4 times when it's cold. So this one is called the trough system. And when it comes to climate, it's actually the best method because we are recycling water. So this water goes, there's a draining point there, then it goes to the tank outside where it's pumped back to the 2 tanks that are beside where we do the limited reserving. Then it comes back to the tank.
It's easier for you to produce high protein feed using black soldier fly as in compared to buying because it's more expensive. So if someone, let's say they are keeping chickens, the chicken droppings, they can also be used as substrate. So you can form some form of recirculating income where you are using the droppings from the chickens and then you are feeding to the larva, and then the larva you are feeding to the chicken. If you have pigs, again the same.
Central Province Permanent Secretary Dr. Miuna Mwanakampwe has announced that President Hakainde Hichilema is expected to visit Kapirimposhi district tomorrow for a scheduled engagement with the local community and students at Mulungushi University. Dr. Mwanakampwe said the head of state will also use the visit to appreciate the ongoing infrastructure development taking place at the institution as part of government's commitment to improving the education sector. He explained that President Hichilema is also expected to interact with members of the community during the visit and hear firsthand some of the concerns and expectations of residents in the district. The Permanent Secretary noted that the visit demonstrates government's continued support and interest in enhancing higher education infrastructure and creating a conducive learning environment for students across the country. Mulungushi University has in recent years undertaken several infrastructure projects aimed at expanding learning space, improving accommodation facilities, and strengthening academic capacity.
Mr. Hakainde Hichilema will undertake a one-day working visit tomorrow to Central Province, Kapirimposhi district to be precise, at Mulungushi University. Now, he's coming for a one-day working visit to interact with the people of that area and the surrounding areas. Basically, Mr. President is expected to arrive in the Central Province, Mulungushi University, school grounds at 10 a.m. He is expected to check on the progress that has been made regarding the construction of the student hostels. He is also expected to inspect the progress that has been made from the marching orders that he gave his clerks, who are ourselves, to construct a statistic brouhaha, as it were, that the university students were grappling with. He is also expected to inspect the network towers that have been installed at Mulungushi University. Thereafter, Mr. President is likely and expected to address all the aspiring contestants at the Rock of Authority. Mr. President will then retreat to Lusaka around 14 o'clock.
Leader of the United Prosperous and Peaceful Zambia, UPPZ, President Charles Chanda has called for peace, unity and restraint during the burial of Chief MPEZENI, urging political players to avoid turning the funeral into a political platform. Speaking in a statement, Mr. Chanda appealed to political leaders, supporters and mourners to respect the solemn occasion and allow the NGONI people to mourn their traditional leader with dignity. Mr. Chanda, whose party is part of the UPND alliance, said the late Paramount Chief deserved a respectful send-off in recognition of his decades of service to NGONI people. He further noted that unity during the funeral would send a strong message about the country's respect for traditional leadership and national values. Mr. Chanda added that his party remained committed to peaceful politics and respect for traditional authorities, especially during moments of mourning.
To take this opportunity to call upon all the mourners that will be at the burial for the late Ngonyama, Chief MPEZENI, the fourth. It is important that we bid farewell to the great chief of the NGONI people with great respect. We do not expect anybody to politicize the burial. We need to ensure that peace and respect prevails during the entire ceremony. It can be very unfortunate for any section of the society to feel that they are the best owners of the funeral. We are mourning a great man that has led the chiefdom with all the heart of a father. He was a father to all of us. He was a chief, he was a king, he was everything to all of us. And it becomes very important that that respect.
And that particular story takes us to our first set of commercials. But do join us for international and sports news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
Did you know that you've got the right to complain against any radio or television broadcast? Did you also know that every radio or television station has an obligation to respond and address your complaints when aggrieved? The first step is to complain to the station not more than 3 months after the broadcast took place. It is expected that the station will respond reasonably to you, that is within 14 days. If not satisfied, then escalate your problem to the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
We're at Mass Media Complex, Ali King Carter Road,
PO Box 32475, Lusaka, or call us on +260 211 250589 or visit our website at www.iba.org.zm.
IBA, promoting ethical and professional broadcasting.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still joining us on the Camnet News Desk. And now in international news. The International Criminal Court has suspended its chief prosecutor Karim Khan over allegations of sexual misconduct with an aide. The ICC's 21-member Bureau of the Assembly of State Parties announced the decision on Monday. It said it was referring the case to a special session of the court's member states. The Bureau stressed that the suspension is not an indication of the final outcome. A United Nations investigation found evidence that Mr. Khan had non-consensual sexual contact with an aide on several occasions, but in April, a three-judge panel ruled the investigation was not conclusive. Mr. Khan took a leave of absence last year to fight the allegations. The 56-year-old British national has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. The allegations against him were first reported to the court's independent watchdog more than 2 years ago. An Associated Press investigation revealed that Mr. Khan was alleged to have seen the woman working in another ICC department and moved her into his office. She later became a regular presence on official trips, according to whistleblower documents. One of the foreign trips, Mr. Khan allegedly asked her to rest with him on a hotel, the document said. Other alleged non-consensual behavior cited in the documents included locking the door of his office and sticking his hand in his pocket. Here's a roundup of international stories courtesy of Africa News.
The International Criminal Court has suspended its chief prosecutor Karim Khan over allegations of sexual misconduct with an aide. The ICC's 21-member Bureau of the Assembly of State Parties announced the decision on Monday. It said it was referring the case to a special session of the court's member states. The Bureau stressed that the suspension is not an indication of the final outcome.
Message.
A United Nations investigation found evidence that Khan had non-consensual contact with an aide on several occasions. But in April, a three-judge panel ruled the investigation was not conclusive. Khan took a leave of absence last year to fight the allegations. The 56-year-old British national has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. Khan made headlines when he successfully applied for arrest warrants against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant over the Gaza war. The date for the special session hasn't yet been set.
A French court began hearing the appeal of Eugene Rwamusi on Tuesday, a former Rwandan doctor convicted of his role in the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Rwamusi, now 67, was sentenced to 27 years in prison in 2024 for genocide-related offenses, crimes against humanity, and participation in a criminal conspiracy linked to the atrocities that claimed up to 1 million lives. Prosecutors accuse him of supporting Hutu authorities during the genocide, inciting violence against Tutsi, and taking part in burial of thousands of victims in mass graves in southern Rwanda. The Paris court had ruled that his involvement in concealing bodies constituted a genocide act, although it did not consider him a direct perpetrator of the killings. Maintaining his innocence, Rwamusi had appealed the conviction and assembled a new legal team for the trial, which is expected to run until mid-July. More than 500 civil parties are represented in the proceedings, which are being heard under France's principle of universal jurisdiction.
The Red Cross has condemned an attack on its volunteers during an Ebola burial operation in eastern DR Congo. Several people were injured in the incident in Bunia as aid workers carried out a safe and dignified burial. The organization warns that growing hostility is making its life-saving work increasingly difficult. There are a lot of problems and difficulties in our work. To begin with, we don't have enough work equipment, and out in the field we're constantly being attacked and insulted. Just a few days ago, our colleagues were beaten up in Namaburongo, a cemetery in Bunia. They were violently assaulted and some were seriously injured. At present, they are still in hospital receiving the necessary care. Tensions remain high in eastern DR Congo, where medical tents have been burned and hospitals stormed amid the Ebola outbreak. Despite growing mistrust and recent attacks, Red Cross volunteers say they remain committed to helping affected communities. These attacks discourage us, but we have no choice. We must go on. DR Congo's Ebola outbreak continues to grow with 381 cases and 64 deaths reported. No vaccine or specific treatment is currently available.
And finally, in sports news this evening, Somali referee OMAR ARTAN is out of the World Cup after being barred from entering the United States. Without naming him, U.S. Customs and Border Protection confirmed on Monday that a Somali national set to referee during the tournament was determined to be inadmissible due to vetting concerns and was denied entry. FIFA confirmed later Monday that ARTAN wouldn't be able to train and officiate at the World Cup. In a statement, FIFA said it was not involved in the immigration processes and was informed by authorities that ARTAN's status will not be changed at present. ARTAN, who was named Africa's best referee last year, reportedly had a valid entry visa despite Somalia being under a U.S. travel ban. FIFA confirmed the news and said it was not involved in the immigration process. We monitored Africa News.
Somali referee Omar Artan is out of the World Cup after being barred from entering the United States. Without naming him, U.S. Customs and Border Protection confirmed on Monday that a Somali national set to referee during the tournament was determined to be inadmissible due to vetting concerns and was denied entry. Artan, who was named Africa's best referee last year, reportedly had a valid entry visa despite Somalia being under a U.S. travel ban. Somali officials decried the move, saying it undermines football's commitment to fairness, merit and the spirit of fair play. Support staff from Iran's national team have also been barred from entering the US, while Iraqi striker Ayman Hussein was held at the airport for several hours before being allowed in. In a statement, Artan thanked the football family for their messages and wished his colleagues the best success during the World Cup.
And that sporting item brings us to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. HH assures MPEZENI family of government support as nation mourns NGONI leader. OPP pack back MUSHIMBA-BANDA ticket for 2026 elections. Geological survey unlocks LUAPULA'S mining investment potential. In international news, ICC suspends chief prosecutor over allegations of sexual misconduct. In sports, Somali referee OMAR ARTAN denied entry to US ahead of World Cup. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 1. It reads, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. That ends the Bible reading, and that concludes this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, like always, do remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Mainstream app. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening and God bless.